Stephen William Hawking, 1942–2018, was a brilliant British theoretical physicist and cosmologist. Despite being diagnosed with ALS at 21, he made groundbreaking contributions to black hole physics and cosmology. His book, A Brief History of Time, became a bestseller, making complex physics accessible to millions worldwide. God may exist, but science can explain the universe without the need for a creator. What I meant by we would know the mind of God is we would know everything that God would know if there were a God, which there is. I regard the brain as a computer which will stop working when its components fail. There is no heaven or afterlife for broken-down computers. Because there is a law such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. Spontaneous creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing, why the universe exists, why we exist. I have lived with the prospect of an early death for the last 49 years. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. I have so much I want to do first. I wouldn't be here today if it were not for the NHS. I have received a large amount of high-quality treatment, without which I would not have survived. Although I cannot move, and I have to speak through a computer, in my mind, I am We have this one life to appreciate, the grand design of the universe. And for that, I am extremely grateful. I am just a child who has never grown up. I still keep asking these how and why questions. Occasionally, I find an answer. For millions of years, mankind lived just like the animals. Then something happened, which unleashed the power of our imagination. We learned to talk. We only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. I have found far greater enthusiasm for science in America than here in Britain. There is more enthusiasm for everything in America. I believe alien life is quite common in the universe, although intelligent life is less so. Some say it has yet to appear on planet Earth. If aliens visit us, the outcome would be much as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. God not only plays dice, but also sometimes throws them where they cannot be seen. My expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus. Even if there is only one possible unified theory, it is just a set of rules and equations. What is it that breathes fire into the equations and makes a universe for them to describe? I think computer viruses should count as life. I think it says something about human nature, that the only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. Science is beautiful when it makes simple explanations of phenomena or connections between different observations. Try to understand what you see and wonder about what makes it all possible. The victim should have the right to end his life if he wants. But I think it would be a great mistake. Most people who contemplate suicide are just temporarily depressed. I believe everyone should have a broad picture of how the universe operates and of our place in it. If you understand how the universe operates, you control it in a way. The greatest discoveries will be ones we are not today wise enough to foresee. Philosophy is dead. Philosophers have not kept up with modern developments in science, particularly physics. The universe is not indifferent to our existence. It depends on it. We are the product of quantum fluctuations in the very early universe. There ought to be something very special about the boundary conditions of the universe. And what can be more special than that there is no boundary? Time can behave like another direction in space under extreme conditions. We stand on the threshold of a new era. Human civilization has existed for about 10,000 years, and the rate of development has been steadily increasing. I think the next century will be the century of complexity. We have already discovered the basic laws that govern matter and understand all the normal situations. The development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. I have so much I want to do first. We are just monkeys on a rock, orbiting a very ordinary star in the outer suburbs of one of 100 billion galaxies. But we can understand the universe. That makes us something very special. However bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. While there's life, there is hope. I have so much that I want to do. I regard myself as being very lucky. Science can lift people out of poverty and cure disease. That in turn will reduce the rate of population growth and so help prevent our planet's resources from being exhausted. I don't want to go before the job is done. Things can get out of their event horizon and escape from a black hole. So black holes are not the eternal prisons they were once thought to be. I enjoy fame, but I don't take it too seriously. I don't think the human race will survive the next 1,000 years unless we spread into space. I have wanted to fly, and I have wanted to understand why the universe exists. Both seem equally impossible. My goal has always been to understand the workings of the universe and to find our place within it. I believe we are on the threshold of major breakthroughs. These may change the way we view the universe and put the human race on an even sounder footing. I would like to be remembered as someone who opened people's eyes to the wonder of the universe. Scientists have become the bearers of the torch of discovery in our quest for knowledge. My work on black holes began with a eureka moment. A few days after my daughter Lucy was born, I have been lucky that my condition has progressed more slowly than is often the case. But it shows that one need not lose hope. The media needs superheroes in science, just as in every sphere of life. But there is really a continuous range of abilities, with no clear dividing line. We should not give up. We should never give up. The thing about smart people is that they seem like crazy people to dumb people. I believe that disabled people should concentrate on things that their handicap doesn't prevent them from doing, and not regret those they can't do. There is no unique picture of reality. Evolution has ensured that our brains just aren't equipped to visualize 11 dimensions directly. However, from a purely mathematical point of view, it's just as easy to think in 11 dimensions as it is to think in 3 or 4. I think those who have a terminal illness and are in great pain should have the right to choose to end their lives, and those who help them should be free from prosecution. If I had to choose a superhero to be, I would pick Superman. He's everything that I'm not. I have noticed even people who claim everything is predestined and that we can do nothing to change it look before they cross the road. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. 2. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. 3. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is there and don't throw it away. There should be no boundaries to human endeavor. We are all different. However bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. The human capacity for guilt is such that people can always find ways to blame themselves. I believe the simplest explanation is there is no God. No one created the universe, and no one directs our fate. My advice to other disabled people would be, concentrate on things your disability doesn't prevent you doing well, and don't regret the things it interferes with. Don't be disabled in spirit as well as physically. I have lived most of my life in the expectation of an early death, so every day is a bonus. Remember, we are all travelers in the mystery of existence. We have been given this moment and the cosmic calendar to contemplate the wonder of our universe and our place within it, that in itself is extraordinary. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. Look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. We are just an advanced breed of monkeys on a minor planet of a very average star. But we can understand the universe that makes us something very special. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Time travel used to be thought of as just science fiction, but Einstein's general theory of relativity allows for the possibility that we could warp space-time so much that you could go off in a rocket and return before you set out. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is, and why it exists at all. We live in the most probable of all possible worlds. The universe doesn't allow perfection. There is a fundamental difference between religion, which is based on authority, and science, which is based on observation and reason. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. We should seek the greatest value of our action. Quiet people have the loudest minds. My advice to other disabled people would be, concentrate on things your disability doesn't prevent you doing well, and don't regret the things it interferes with. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. Black holes are not really black after all. They glow like a hot body, and the smaller they are, the more they glow. Einstein was wrong when he said, God does not play dice. Consideration of black holes suggests not only that God does play dice, but that he sometimes confuses us by throwing them where they can't be seen. Nothing is better than reading and gaining more and more knowledge. The whole history of science has been the gradual realization that events do not happen in an arbitrary manner, but that they reflect a certain underlying order. If we find the answer to that, it would be the ultimate triumph of human reason, for then we would know the mind of God. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. We are in danger of destroying ourselves by our greed and stupidity. We cannot remain looking inwards at ourselves on a small and increasingly polluted and overcrowded planet. I have noticed that even people who claim everything is predetermined and that we can do nothing to change it look before they cross the road. The past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. Science is not only a disciple of reason, but also one of romance and passion. We think we have solved the mystery of creation. What we have really discovered is that creation is more mysterious than we thought. Equations are just the boring part of mathematics. I attempt to see things in terms of geometry. So next time someone complains that you have made a mistake, tell him that may be a good thing. Because without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. It is not clear that intelligence has any long-term survival value. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. Computer viruses should count as life. I think it says something about human nature that the only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. I think the human race has no future if it doesn't go into space. We must develop as quickly as possible technologies that make possible a direct connection between brain and computer. Artificial intelligence could be a real danger in the not-too-distant future. Success in creating AI would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last.